Hello and welcome to yet another YouTube video here on this channel. Today we are diving into this app that wants to be your digital idea garden, and this might seem a little chaotic right now with everything just in one place, but it is actually quite fun to use and quite easy to find the thing you are looking for. This app is called Mymind and it wants to be an extension of your real mind, which I think is really cool. It is a visual note-taking app, so suitable for visual thinkers, designers, artists, and so on. And I'm going to show you how I am trying this out as my new idea garden. I have used this app before and it is one of my definite favorites because of the ease of use and because you don't actually have to do a lot of organization inside of it. It wants to use AI to organize everything for you. So let's just take a look at the first thing. We have spaces here, which are basically folders, smart folders. So I have created one here where uh, if it's tagged article and it is tagged read later, and the article tag is done by the AI while I add the read later, but I will show you how that works a little later in the video. When I've tagged it with those two things, or when it is tagged with those two things, it appears inside of this folder right here. And this is my reading list. And inside of here, I have an article backup. I have TLDR right here done by the AI. And I tend to take my notes right here in the Mind notes. So this article backup and this reading mode is on the more pricey Pro plan, which costs you $12.90 each month, but I am paying for it and I'm really happy with it because I like to read articles within the note-taking app, and I love to have a clutter-free place for me to read those articles because I struggle a lot with concentration, especially when I'm reading. That's why I decided to pay for this. And I also like the fact that you have article backup here because my reading lists tend to be very, very long, and I tend to spend a lot of time on one book or one article or whatever it is. So that's why I have decided to pay for it. But this at least gives me the article backup, which I think is really cool and really important to me. And it also gives me this TLDR right here. Uh, if we jump back, I have a couple more of these smart spaces. I have a reading list for books. And the way I actually capture these books is that I go into Amazon and I find the book I want to read, and I just use the extension right here. I tag it, it gets tagged with book. So when I save it, it gets tagged with book automatically. And then I add the tag read later. So quite easy to do. And I get this beautiful looking card. Or I don't know if I would call it a card, but at least a picture. I get the picture of the book and I get a TLDR right here as well. But most of these books I already own. I just need to get to reading them. And I also have this for my finished book notes. So if we jump back into my everything, here I have the books I have read, and I have the book notes on them. So the creative act, I have the book notes right here. And what's so cool about this my notes right here is that these are actually also searchable. So inside of Start with Why, influencers are mentioned. So if I search for influencer, I actually get this right here because it is mentioned somewhere in my Mind notes. So these are actually searchable as well. And the reason for me actually taking my notes this way instead of taking them like this, so I could take my book notes like this and just continue on writing, giving it a name and so on. But I have decided to do it a little differently, and that is simply because I want to spend more time just looking through my book notes and just finding a book that looks interesting and going through my notes again just to try and remember the things I have read. The same goes for my articles as well. I have smart spaces for my project and my project ideas as well. And I am playing around with having my to-do list inside of here. So the way I have thought about doing this is actually having just one card, and every card with a to-do gets the to-do tag, so you can do it a little differently by having multiple cards and just searching for to-do or pressing this right here. So you could do it in that way, but I have decided to try uh, something a little bit different with having like my do today or do the next couple of days. I'm actually finished with this, and I'm finished with this as well. Um, and this is due tomorrow, but I have this right here, and I also have the do someday. So I move things from right here into here, and it isn't perfect. The system can become a lot better, but it has actually worked quite well for me, and I'm really happy about it. But it has happened, as you can see here, that I have duplicated one of my tasks. Um, so it happens, but it isn't a major problem. So that's how I do my to-dos inside of here. Uh, and it isn't necessarily something I will continue with doing, but I wanted to try it out. And we also have the ability to do deep searches, and this is what makes this app so powerful. So let's search for productivity. Productivity like this, and here we have everything regarding productivity, and it isn't always perfect. So for example, these do not have anything to do with productivity, um, so it isn't necessarily perfect all the time, but I have always found what I'm looking for. So let's try book, and it shows me all of my books. Now let's try productivity, and it will show me the books regarding productivity. So especially these two are right. This has the word productivity in the notes here, so that's why this is showing up. And these I'm not too sure about, but as you can see, you will always find what you are looking for. So I can do the same for my articles. So if I search for article, it shows me all of my articles right here. So it does a good job at search, and that is what makes it so powerful. You can do deep searches. I could also do, let's say, hashtag YouTube video idea, and it shows me all of my YouTube video ideas. And if I do my TikTok ideas, this is quite fun. So TikTok ideas right here. I can press this and it will show me everything tagged with TikTok ideas. And I can also do minus uh, like this, and it will remove the one that has the tag of my clothing brand. So just to show you how that works once again, if I press this right here, and it now shows me all of my TikTok video ideas, but I have one for my clothing brand. So I can do minus and I can do the tag of my clothing brand and it will disappear. So you can do really deep searches within this, and you can also search for objects within your images. I don't have a lot of images inside of here, so it won't work for me, but you can actually do object, and you can search for an object within your images inside of the app. And you can also search for colors. So orange, it will show you the things that are orange. And it shows you in here all of the different searches you can do. So searching for objects, searching for text within images, you can do that as well. So it is a really powerful application with a really powerful search. But just to show you how the web clipping works and why this app doesn't need any organization, this is a book I want to read. Again, a book I already own. Let's just go ahead and save this, and we can do read later like this, and it will I will give it a second and it will save it to Mymind. I can go back into Mymind and it appears right here, and it is tagged with read later because I gave it that tag, but it is tagged with quite a few more things. So it is tagged with the author, with the type of book, freedom of choice, consciousness. It actually did a really good job at the tagging here because I know what the book is about. I just haven't gotten to reading it. If you have read this book right here, comment down below. I want to see if I want to see how many people have actually read through this because it is supposed to be a really good book. Anyways, so it does a good job at tagging. It has actually gotten a lot better today because now it actually gives it a title as well. It didn't do that yesterday. They have actually improved the AI today. And I also saved my outfit ideas inside of here. And one last thing I wanted to show you, you saw that I tagged this with read later. If I now go to my reading list books, it will appear right here. So that's Mymind for you, your literal idea garden where you can save everything that is important to you. As I said, I have my projects inside of here. I have my outfits. I have wish lists for things I wish for, things that inspire me. And one of the most important things in my case is actually things that inspire me. I want my idea garden, my note taking app, to be a place of inspiration. And I've also added a new thing to my workflow where I at least spend half an hour each week just going through my notes, and I use the serendipity feature. I won't show you that right now because a note might appear that I don't want to show to everyone, but it is a privacy focused app. There is one major con to this, and it is the fact that you can't export your notes to Markdown. You can export it to CSV, which a lot of note-taking apps actually accept as importing, as a way of importing, but it isn't perfect, and it does not actually have an import feature. So Mymind doesn't have an import feature. This is supposed to be a place where you start new, and if there are some notes that are really important to you, you can actually manually move them over, but in general, they want you to start new. So this is my new idea garden, and it can be yours as well. They have two pricing plans, one for $12.90 each month and one for $6.90 each month. I'm paying for the more expensive one because I get the article backup, more powerful AI, and I also get the TLDR. But if you don't need those two things, the article backup and the TLDR, you can just go for the cheaper plan. It is definitely worth it and it does the job. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below and I will try to get to them as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching today's video.